right, let's get into it, shall we? Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Ange Kirchhoff, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we are live streaming for the next 2 hours, consisting of all things fantasy football related. Of course, at this current moment in time, we are seeing, Kirk Cousins and the the Minnesota Vikings streak back into a comeback victory potentially here. If anybody's going to throw a 33-point lead, it is Matt Ryan. We know that from the course of a 28-3 Super Bowl in which he threw many years ago. The conservative nature of this offense certainly could end up biting them in the buns. But either way, we're talking fantasy football for the remaining games that are, whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, all that kind of jazz. Over the course of today's episode, I'm going to be answering questions in the chat via Super Chat, all that kind of stuff. If, in fact, you have a question, be sure to mention what your scoring format is, whether it's standard, half PPR, full PPR, point per first down, 6 point per passing touchdown. You get extra points bonus for extra 100 receiving yards. All that kind of stuff matters in terms of making decisions and giving you guys suggestions from my direction to yours. Outside of that, click the like button down below. Greatly appreciated. Also, check out PrizePicks. Again, if you guys want to continue to play daily fantasy at your fingertips, as I see Justin Jefferson carve up this defense, you can go ahead and do that via PrizePicks. There's the link down in the description. You can take advantage of the current promotion of the 12 days of Pickmas. As of today, they have a very interesting promotion. It's called Catch a Gingerbread Man. I would say every couple hours, there's like a flash play where it's a discounted player in terms of more or less. Typically, you want to pick more on those discounted players. You can go ahead, put together an entry for them, take advantage of the flash play. If you are, of course, taking a look at it, and or just follow their Twitter, and you get the recent updates, all that kind of stuff in terms of notifications on. Outside of that, when you go ahead and travel there, use promo code Andrew, because when you make that first time deposit, it's immediately doubled up to $100 by using promo code Andrew. Thank you very much. All right. So, very interesting case here, The 33-0 halftime score was certainly interesting. Chase McLaughlin, who I was talking about yesterday in my must-start video, obviously having himself a fantastic day in terms of fantasy purposes, as we see Dalvin Cook going towards the end zone. For those of you who have Jonathan Taylor, again, that is the unlucky factor of fantasy football. We talk about it, right? You can prepare as much as you'd like. You like to play matchups. You like to play specific talented players. You want to play opportunities. Injuries are a variable that are always going to be a mainstay in fantasy football. And as long as that's the case, as I'm literally watching Dalvin Cook walk off to the sideline limping. I mean, what is this, man? How many injuries and Justin Jefferson scores? Thank you. All right, we'll take that. I'm probably a little bit delayed because the YouTube stream's delayed, and I'm watching a stream on the second monitor here that may be a little bit delayed as well. Either way, what's up, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Let's talk fantasy football. I have a couple questions that were already sent in via Super Chat that I want to address first and foremost. Again, if you send those in, be sure to make sure that your question is attached to it. Thank you very much. Let me go ahead and open my Patreon rankings so that when these questions are prompted in my direction, all systems go. There's no hesitation. Let's zoom out on the Excel sheet. Boom, perfect. Okay. C Crip sends in the first super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Crip. Says, hey Andrew, I need a wide receiver, a flex, and a running back in a full PPR scoring format. I have Christian Watson, I have J.K. Dobbins, Brian Robinson, Zonovan Knight, Mike Evans, Pacheco, Amon-Ra, Foreman, Najee, Olave, Monty. Thank you. Okay. So if you need one of each, wide receiver, flex, and running back, the starting running back that I'm going to suggest is Deontay Foreman. The starting wide receiver I'm going to suggest is Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the following option in terms of the flex would be Christian Watson. So, again, that's Pacheco, Amon-Ra, and Watson. Thank you very much, Crip. John G says, what's up? Starter sit Amari Cooper. Okay, well, that's kind of a... I guess you're starting him. If you want like an idea as to where I have him ranked, in a half PPR... let's see here. Where do I have him ranked? I have Amari Cooper at 17. So I've moved him up just a slight bit from the other day. He's been cleared in terms of his hip injury, had a full participation in practice on Friday, so we're good to go there. I'm willing to play him. I know that there's the conversation of home Amari Cooper versus away Amari Cooper and his production and how it's kind of panned out this season. It's kind of a pipe dream to hope in terms of that kind of stuff, but at this current moment in time, I'm going to play Amari Cooper today. So yeah, I'm willing to start him as a wide receiver 2 going into the week. All right, following up with the next super chat question, we had Cinco2X. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Says, Are we playing Chris Moore or Donovan Peoples-Jones? Great question. Let's see where I have them ranked in a full PPR. At this current moment in time, in a full PPR scoring format, I have Chris Moore 23 and Donovan Peoples-Jones 24. I have Chris Moore one spot ahead of him, so that's my suggestion in full PPR. Thank you, appreciate it. Let's see here. We had a question that also came in from Jan. Jan, thank you very much. Says, hey, Andrew, I need 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, in a singular flex for this week. We have Mixon, Pacheco, Etienne, Swift, Najee. All right, so those are your available running backs. I really love the opportunity of playing Mixon, especially with 2 of the primary defense alignment of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers missing this week. That is going to be huge. One of them primarily being Vita Vea. That's one of their best run-stopping defenders they could possibly ask for on a weekly basis, and he's going to be absent in the matchup. Lyle Collins looking good to go. Obviously, he was on the injury report earlier this week, but we're fine there with Mixon. As for the follow-up option, I'm probably going to play Pacheco against Houston. It's the best matchup of the week. Can't really pass up on that. Now, as for wide receivers, we have Hopkins, Godwin, Judy, Olave, and Waddle. I'll take Hopkins and Godwin. Godwin has moved up in my rankings primarily because Mike Hinton, the primary slot cornerback for the Cincinnati Bengals, is out. He's not going to be playing today. They've got a lot of injuries in the secondary, so Chris Godwin will have a big opportunity this Sunday to put together a big performance here, especially in a full PPR scoring format. And then Hopkins, of course, is an automatic in every circumstance. And if we're just finding another player to play in terms of the flex option, I'm probably playing ETN there in your case, Jan. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. We had a follow-up here from Alicia. Thank you very much. Says, full PPR, Amari Cooper, Juju Smith-Schuster, or Chris Moore. Choose one. Of the 3, in a half PPR scoring format, I'll tell you exactly where I have them ranked. So let's go to half PPR. Half PPR. Where is everyone? I have Amari Cooper number 1, Juju Smith number 2, Chris Moore number 3 in that order. That's how I would kind of go about it. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So now it's 36-21. I'm not even joking. When halftime arrived, okay, I stepped out of the movie theater. Okay, I stepped out of watching the new Avatar movie as halftime arrived, and I looked at my phone. I said, "How is it 33-0?" And I looked. I'm like, "Okay, punt blocked, interception for a touchdown, 4 field goals, passing touchdown. Great. Nobody has any. Oh, Jonathan Taylor. Oh, fantastic." And I literally said to myself, and the people I came out of the theater with, if anyone can throw this game, Matt Ryan is capable of doing it. And by all means, I'm telling you, there's a possibility here that it could happen. Luckily, at least, if you have some of the receiving options for, the Minnesota Vikings, that could be beneficial for your overall upside because they're throwing for the remainder of this game. How was Avatar? I thought it was okay. I thought it was, listen, it's a good movie, right? 3 hours, 10 minutes long. It's pretty long, but it's a good movie. I'd probably say I like the first one more overall. Okay, moving on. The next question here. Michael Carry-On. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate it. Let me see here. Carry on. I just realized I don't have the chat on screen. We'll get that on screen in just a moment after I catch up to all these super chats. Thank you. Michael Carry-On says, who do I pick up on waivers? Full PPR. Myers, Waller. I have Andrews. Hunt, Akers, James Cook, dropping Damian Harris for one of these options. Okay, so if in fact you don't need a running back, in terms of running back depth, Matt Ryan slings it down the field, and of course he makes another mistake. If you don't need another running back to replace Damian Harris in this current capacity, Michael Carry-On, the pivot would then just to be, in my mind, probably just picking up Waller, even with Mark Andrews, because if Mark Andrews continues to slump, there may be an idea that you might want to pivot in that kind of circumstance. So it's either Waller or you go and you pick up Jacoby Myers there. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Perry or Paul. Hope you're doing well, Perry. Thank you. Says Dobbins or ETN. I have ETN ranked high going into the week. I like Dobbins a lot, guys, but I mean, you can eye test it yourself. When I watch these games back on NFL Plus from the End Zone Cam, whether you're watching it live, whether you're watching it on the highlights, whether you're watching it, NFL Plus from different camera angles, doesn't really matter. We know that J.K. Dobbins is not fully healthy. So there is a really good situation that, is there playing up against Cleveland. But I truly do believe that Dobbins is going to have to prove multiple weeks to me that he is a significantly healthier running back and can sustain the volume of touches that they're giving him for me to trust him specifically over a guy like ETN, who I like a lot this week. Thank you. Luis Alcantar, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It says, with all the with all the changes, I said Chargers. With all the changes and injuries, which defense would you start? Jets, Arizona. Wow, good punt return, huh? Let's go. Jets, Arizona, Packers, Carolina. Of the group that is remaining there, Jets, Arizona, Packers, Carolina, I have them ranked in the following order. Let me just give you guys an idea here. So, as for defenses ranked as of today, okay, so these rankings were finished at 5 a.m. this morning. I have Kansas City defense number 1, Philadelphia number 2, Buffalo Bills 3, Dallas Cowboys 4, New England Patriots 5, Pittsburgh Steelers 6, Denver Broncos 7, Green Bay Packers 8, New York Jets 9, Arizona Cardinals 10, Carolina Panthers 11, and Baltimore Ravens 12. So of the 4 that you specifically mentioned, Green Bay is the highest ranked defense, but they're quite literally all consecutively in order 8, 9, 10, and 11, which is interesting, but that is the current circumstance. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea, Luis. That's the direction I'm going in. Thank you. All right. We had Posner, too, says, starting QB, Tom Brady versus Cincinnati defense or Watson versus Baltimore defense, Prescott versus the Jacksonville defense. Of the 3, I prefer Prescott number 1, Deshaun Watson number 2, and Tom Brady 3. So yeah, Prescott would be my suggestion for this week, Posner. Thank you. Anthony sends in a question. Thank you very much. Says full PPR, J.K. Dobbins, DPJ, Chris Moore, or wait for Ramondre. I don't think Ramondre Stevenson's going to play. If in fact, Anthony, you're in a situation where you have Pierre Thomas. Wow. Anybody remember Pierre Thomas? Anybody? New Orleans Saints? If you have Pierre Strong, you can hold out for him. I think it'd probably just be smart to go with either GPJ or Chris Moore today in a full PPR scoring format, which in my opinion, I prefer Chris Moore today. Thank you. Dom says, I'm officially teetering, Andrew. What do you mean by this? I need 2 between Ramondre Stevenson, Garrett Wilson, Jerry Jeudy in a full PPR scoring format. Please help. I mean, okay, so considering you don't have to make these decisions until tomorrow, and we don't know 100% whether or not Ramondre is going to be technically active or at a full capacity, I'm still probably leaning in the direction of just playing Jerry Jeudy and Garrett Wilson, even with the quarterback change from Mike White to Zach Wilson there. I think it's an advantageous enough matchup to where Garrett Wilson is still going to be a lower end wide receiver 2 option within the given week. That's my suggestion there, Dom. Thank you. We saw Jay's sending the question, says full PPR, DPJ, Foreman, White, Mostert, Lazard. DPJ, Foreman, White, Mostert. In a full PPR scoring format, I prefer DPJ over the entirety of this group. Over Foreman, over White, over Mostert, over Lazard. Thank you. Spartan Warrior says, I need 2 this week in a full PPR scoring format. Cooper, Olave, Watson, ETN. Okay, of the group, I prefer Christian Watson and Travis Etienne. Thank you very much, Spartan. This is Sparta. Great 300 picture of Leonidas there. Mr. Gerard Butler. Bacon, thank you very much. Says, hey, Andrew, full PPR. Would you flex Jerry Jeudy or Cole Kmet? In a full PPR scoring for... Oh, man, that's actually a really good question. Considering Chase Claypool's out, I would say that the slot receiving option or playing in the inline is really advantageous going up against Philadelphia because your White will probably be the linebacker that's covering him. If not, I mean, playing outside wide receiver is going to be tough against Philadelphia. That's where they're typically the strongest with Bradbury and Darius Slay. So Kmet's a really good play. Don't get it mistaken. If Kmet falls into the end zone, he probably outscores Jerry Jeudy. I just trust the target volume that we have seen when Jerry Jeudy has played with the backup quarterback for the Denver Broncos, Brett Rippon. So if we're going to be in a situation, and this has been going on since 2020, they've had this connection. So if they continue that streak, man, KJ Osborne cutting up this defense, huh? I think Jerry Jeudy is probably a little bit of a safer play. Let me actually check here. In a full PPR scoring format via my Patreon, do I have Cole Kmet higher? I don't think I do. I have Cole Kmet at 58, and I have Jerry Jeudy at 40. Yeah, so I have Jerry Jeudy significantly higher based on, overall receptions and, not being able to guarantee a touchdown either way. All right, moving on. I don't know why they're running the ball. Can someone explain to me why Minnesota is running the ball? They should be in 5 wide or at least in 11 personnel for the remainder of this game. They should not be running the ball. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Isaiah, thank you very much. I appreciate you sending that in. Says, do you trust to start Swift versus the Jets' strong secondary? Swift versus the secondary isn't really a question. That was a massive hit on Justin Jefferson and a penalty. There's 15 yards. I have Pierre Strong as my backup in a full PPR PS. I had Jonathan Taylor as well. Sag. Yeah, that is unfortunate, Isaiah. That is just the unlucky nature of fantasy football in itself and football in itself. Obviously, a lot of players get injured. In this current scenario, if in fact Pierre Strong is a uncontested running back tomorrow, that meaning there is no Damian Harris, which of course has already been confirmed, and there is no Ramondre Stevenson, I would probably play Pierre Strong over DeAndre Swift. Now, that's just a question for tomorrow. When we get there and we have a full designation of whether or not Ramondre will be an active participant, in the game, then at that point we can decide. But yeah, if in fact there is no Ramondre and it's between an unimpeded backfield for Pierre Strong and DeAndre Swift at his current position, I would play Pierre Strong. Thank you. David Williams says DPJ or Rashad White PPR. I play DPJ. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We had Heisenberg sends in a question, says Devontae Smith, Chris Moore, J.K. Dobbins full PPR. Of the group, I prefer Devonta Smith. He has been far too active within the offense for me to assume that he's immediately going to disappear just because of the return of a Dallas Goedert. His target count could end up, I see that they had to pull Justin Jefferson out. Are they going to test him for concussion protocol? Is that what's going on right now? That's why he's not on the field. Come on, Kirk Cousins. He throws it, and he does a pick. All right, moving on. The question was Devonta Smith, Chris Moore, Dobbins. I'll take Devonta Smith in full PPR there. Thank you. Sergio Soto, thank you very much, says, should I start Tyler Bass or another kicker because of the weather? If it's going to, okay. When I say if, up until the night game, it could snow and it could stop. My suggestion at this moment in time would probably be to pivot. If you have someone like Younghoe Koo available for the Atlanta Falcons, obviously coming off the bye week, I think that's another one of those good options this week where you can probably get yourself 2 to 3 field goals of 50 to 40 yards, get yourself 8 to 10 potential points there alone, and then also have the upside of additional field goals and or PATs if touchdowns are scored. And you don't really have to worry about the weather because they're playing indoors this weekend. So I feel like that's another alternative option where you can pivot to, that if in fact we get to, what is the start time? 5:15 or 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 8:30 over there. If it's still heavy snow and wind, then at that point my suggestion would be to, yes, let's pivot away from the kickers in specific. Thank you. This sends in a question, says full PPR. Choose one running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. We have Knight, Hopkins, Adams, Allen, Pacheco, Stevenson, Swift. Oh my God, you got a lot of players here. Godwin, Moore. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Vis. All right, so here is the question, and let's see what we can answer with here. So 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Okay, so I'm probably in a full PPR, starting a lot of wide receivers here. So Devontae Adams has to play a wide receiver 1. Keenan Allen is your wide receiver 2. I'd say Pacheco is your RB1. And then your flex is then between Godwin and Hopkins. I prefer Hopkins ahead of him at the moment, and that's my suggestion. So again, it would be Pacheco a running back, Adams and Allen a wide receiver, and Hopkins at flex. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Vis. Tommy Vu. Thank you very much, Tommy. It says start David Njoku or Dalton Schultz. At this current moment, they're back-to-back in my rankings. Number 3 and number 4 at the tight end position. I prefer currently Dalton Schultz slightly ahead of David Njoku because I have seen a broader spectrum of opportunity and the connection between him and Dak Prescott to prove to me, yes, it is going to be a weekly basis. It's not going to be a 1-week wonder. So in that current circumstance, along with the top of the matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think it's a really advantageous position that they're in to go ahead and start Dalton Schultz there. He's my preferred of the 2. Now, again, they're back-to-back in my rankings. If you've got a gut feeling about David Njoku playing well, I expect him to play well too. I'm starting him over a lot of running backs and wide receivers this week as a flex option. So just putting it in perspective, they're both great plays, but I do prefer Dalton Schultz. Thank you. Let's see here. J-Max says full PPR, start 1, Waddle, Judy, Devonta Smith. Of the 3 options, I have Devonta Smith ranked highest. The second highest is Judy. Waddle is the odd man out at number 3. We have Matt Ryan throwing a moon ball. Come on, can you catch something? Nope. Okay, great. They're just going to need to kill clock at this point. They need to run the ball. Kill as much of the clock as possible because the Vikings are making terrible mistakes. All right, let's see here. We had, after Tommy, we had J-Max. Thank you very much again. Appreciate that. Heartline sends in a question. Heartline says, Amari Cooper or Devonta Smith this week? I'll take Devonta Smith out of the two. And then your follow-up is, I have Adams and I have Watson in a full PPR. Yeah, I think there's no point in terms of risking the inconsistencies of Cooper and just play Devonta there. Thank you. Jordan, thank you very much. Says Standard League. Should I replace Stephon Diggs with a guy like Deontay Foreman? And Deontay Foreman with any of these potential guys? We have Zay Jones. We have Chris Moore. Also have Goddard and Ingram. Okay, between Goddard and Ingram, really quickly, if Goddard is active, I would play him over Ingram. I truly do believe that Ingram's legendary performance, even though it's the 10th best half PPR tight end performance since 2003, it does not justify him being another start this week, especially in comparison to a guy like Goddard. Going against Chicago, which they're giving up about 14.5 fantasy points per game to opposing tight ends since week 7. Matt Ryan in the pocket. Of course, they kill clock by making another incomplete pass. I mean, how many incomplete... whew. Wow. The play calling, the decision making that is being demonstrated on a Saturday makes me think we should probably not have any more Saturday games. But luckily for all of us, next Saturday there are 10 games on the slate. So that's going to be interesting. We'll be here next Saturday morning at I think 8 a.m. sharp answering questions for sure. But either way, we'll also be here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. For those of you who are wondering, we'll have rankings on screen to give you guys a little bit more of an idea as to where we're going. Let's go ahead. So yeah, in your current circumstance, Heartline, we'll go Devonta Smith there. As for Jordan, am I replacing Stephon Diggs? Probably not. I'd be willing to, and I wouldn't even move Deontay Foreman there, because if it's not a PPR scoring format, it's a little bit tougher of a situation to pivot. So yeah, I'm probably just keeping what you have there, Jordan, and definitely playing Goddard if he's active tomorrow. James, thank you very much. Says, full PPR, pick 2, Waddle, Godwin, Christian Watson. I'll play Godwin and Christian Watson this week. Thank you. Luis Alcantar says, full PPR, 2 wide receivers. We have Evans, Deontay, Judy, D-Hop, Chris Moore. I will play D-Hop, and I will play Judy out of that group. Thank you. Moving on, let's see. Kirk Cousins in the pocket, throws a wobbly pass. Finally, Adam Thielen catches the ball today. Thank you. Matthew, thank you very much. Says, hello, Andrew. Full PPR, Dobbins, Zonovan Knight, Brian Robinson, or Marquise Hollywood Brown. Out of the group in a full PPR scoring format, give me Brian Robinson. Thank you. Posner says, is Jeff Driscoll worth a start on Yahoo at the tight end position over the Chargers tight end Gerald Everett? It depends on scoring format. I would say that in a standard scoring league, I could convince myself of doing so, but in a half PPR, full PPR, I will most likely just stick with Everett for another week here, going up against Tennessee, who obviously just got slaughtered by Evan Ingram last week. Or pick up Tennessee's rookie tight end, Chigoziem Okonkwo, over both of them. Yeah, I'll play Okonkwo there. Out of all 3 options, whether it's Driscoll, whether it's Everett, or whether it's Okonkwo, I'll take Okonkwo there. Thank you. Michael, carry on with another question. Let's see here, Michael. Where are you at? Michael, carry on. Okay, so that was your first question, Michael. Michael, you got a lot of questions in the chat, don't you, my man? Waiver pickup between Strong, Myers, Waller, or Sutton. Yeah, I don't want Sutton on my team. It's primarily going to be Strong if, in fact, you need a running back for this week to throw into the lineup, assuming Ramondre is injured. Otherwise, again, it's Waller and then Myers as the number 1 and 2. Thank you. Moving on, we had a question from Perry Paul. Says Dobbins or ETN. Okay, we took care of that. Oh, sorry, that was from way earlier. The F3 function has gotten me off track here, so let me go ahead and update the questions here. Back to the beginning. Okay, First Prince CT says, full PPR. Am I wrong for starting Pirine and Mixon over Mixon and Fournette? Are you wrong in doing so? In a full PPR, I would suggest yes, because as much as we do like Samaje Perine as a good running option, we know that there is going to be a really high likelihood of Leonard Fournette getting himself 8 potential targets, 7, 8 targets, maybe catches 5 or 6 of them. If he does so with 30 yards, he's automatically going to get himself 8 to 10 points probably in terms of full PPR receiving statistics alone. If he gets a lucky touchdown, fantastic. If he gets any sort of rushing work on the ground, which he should primarily because we've seen Rachaad White fumble and lose said fumbles each of the last 2 weeks. I think Fournette is probably like a safe full PPR 12 to 13 points this week in comparison to Samaje Perine, who will need a touchdown to get that kind of, overall upside within a given week. Thank you. Brandon sends in a question, says full PPR, pick an RB2 in a flex. We have Knight, Hubbard, Strong, Gus, Komet, Chark, Hollywood, Chigoziem Okonkwo. Okay. So, out of the group, who am I picking as an RB2 and in a flex? Nice touchdown, Thielen. I mean, a game. Oh my God, they're gonna come back and win this game. I can't believe. I mean, actually, I can believe it, man. I can't believe it, but I can't at the same time. I don't understand. If this doesn't prove, I gotta stop. I'm gonna get on a rant here about coaching. I'm really gonna lose it. So, of the available options here, Brandon, I feel really comfortable in a full PPR scoring format, suggesting Strong under the assumption that there is no Ramondre Stevenson tomorrow, alongside of Cole Kmet. Now, if in fact we're in a situation where Ramondre is active, at that point you would then pivot to playing Zonovan Knight and playing Kmet alongside with him in the flex. Thank you. Also, thoughts on K. Harris Strong situation. Again, I'm going to assume that similar to the way that we saw during the game on Monday night against the Arizona Cardinals, Kevin Harris immediately came in and got a couple touches, got himself a touchdown. Great, fantastic. He looked pretty good. And then all of a sudden was kind of relegated to the RB2 role, and they started really getting Pierre Strong going. So my assumption is that Pierre Strong's utilization within the offense, especially in a run-happy offense that wants to go ahead and ram it down the Raiders' throats, I think Pierre Strong's in a pretty good position there this week to play well. Thank you. Let's hear Daniel Hope. Daniel Hope with 2 Ps, which is interesting. 2 questions in a half PPR. Fields or Deshaun Watson? Absolutely 100% confident in Justin Fields going forward for the remainder of the season as a must start. As for your follow-up, Knight, Swift, or White at running back. As of late, I have changed my mind to an extent. I like Zonovan Knight, but without Mike White there is a less likelihood of this offense throwing the ball to their running backs. And with less potential for receiving upside, I think Swift is the play out of those 3 running backs. Thank you. Riff says half PPR, Fournette, White, Swift, Higgins. If I'm playing one of those options this week, I'm playing Higgins. Thank you. Soy Sergio says full PPR, Deshaun Watson or Daniel Jones. I'll take Daniel Jones there. I have him one spot ahead of Deshaun Watson going into the week. Let's see here. Amar, thank you very much, says half PPR, super flex. I need 2 flexes. We have Dobbins, Waddle, Deshaun Watson, Mixon, Christian Kirk. Thanks so much for the content. No problem. Glad I can help. In terms of your question, I'd like to play Deshaun Watson and Joe Mixon this weekend in your 2 flex options. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. James sends another question. Says, if Stevenson sits, Strong or Rachaad White? 1,000% play Rachaad White. Sorry, not Rachaad White. Strong or Rachaad White? 1,000% play Pierre Strong. My apologies. Again, I get my tongue tied sometimes when I'm talking this fast, but it's because I'm trying to get as many questions answered before, of course, the game that starts in about 30 minutes. Thank you very much, James. I appreciate it once again. We saw Green send in a question. Thank you. It says, Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Christian Watson, Marquise Hollywood-Brown, Deontay Johnson, Chris Moore. Pick 3 wide receivers. Okay, so if we're picking 3 wide receivers out of this group, the highest ranked players I have are Christian Watson, number 1, Amari Cooper, number 2, Chris Moore, number 3. Follow-up would be Donovan Peoples-Jones, 4, Deontay Johnson, 5, Marquise Hollywood-Brown, 6. Your second question, pick as for running back, Stevenson, Aaron Jones, ETN. How many of these do I have to pick? 2. At this point, I'd feel comfortable playing ETN and Aaron Jones, even if Ramondre plays. Happy holidays to you as well, Green. Thank you. Riff says half PPR, Higgins, Fournette, White, Swift. Higgins, Fournette. Yeah, I mean, didn't we just answer that? Yeah, we did. Apologies for the delay. Maybe you thought I had skipped your question. That wasn't the case. We were just trying to catch up overall. Yeah, the suggestion at this moment would be to play Higgins there. I appreciate it. Thank you. Matt Ryan, of course, he's going to make a mistake here. Oh, they got a first down. Wow, Matt Ryan. All right. Finally doesn't make a mistake, huh? I mean, they're going to need a couple Hail Marys and a couple priests to go down to the field to allow Minnesota not to win this game. Truthfully, like this is going to be, man, Matt Ryan 28-3, and now will be supplanted by 33-0. It's going to be, I mean, oh wow. Sergio says Goddard is out tomorrow. Okay, Sergio, let's go see if that's true. Dallas Goddard. Let's see, news. All right, 5 hours ago, nothing there. Sergio, where'd you get the info? Was it like Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport? If it was something of that extent, let me know. I'll go look them up on Twitter just to kind of confirm that. Otherwise, if I don't have a report, I can't really speak on that. I'm gonna assume that he'll be active tomorrow, or we'll figure it out by tomorrow morning, of course. All right, we had Mike Koch send in a question. Says, how bad does the weather need to be before I start Rodgers over Allen? Also, Richie over Gallup full PPR. Richie James Jr. over Gallup. I have him ranked ahead of Gallup this week. I do. Because he cleared concussion protocol and because he probably has a higher likelihood of scoring points. That is a clear fumble and a recovery. Wait, I don't understand. How is that not a touchdown? Wait. What's going on here? Did the refs throw this game? That's a touchdown, right? They didn't blow the whistle early, did they? Chandon Sullivan ran into the end zone. Man, Chandon Sullivan, as fantastic as it is to run into the end zone and get a touchdown, he is one of the worst slot cornerbacks in the league in terms of yards allowed per game and the amount of, whew. Anyway, in regards to your question, Mike, yeah, I'm playing Richie James there. How bad does the weather need to be? I think if you have to play it by like the eye test in my mind. I want to look at the field itself and think, okay, can Josh Allen drop back in the pocket, not be impeded by the snow that is on the ground? And if that's going to affect the routes of his receivers, is it going to then affect his potential for releasing the ball on time and them making connections? If there's going to be a problem because it's difficult to see because the wind is extremely high there, and or it's difficult to run routes and or drop back in the pocket itself and your mobility is limited because of the snow, then yeah, I'm willing to pivot. Like I have Rodgers right now ranked, let me go ahead and give you some perspective on the matter. I have him ranked as my number 13 overall quarterback of remaining quarterbacks. So he's moved up quite a bit. I've moved Tua down quite a bit as well. So he's kind of jumped over Tua as of late. But again, I think if by the time we get to, 5:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Saturday Night Football, and it looks like it's a blizzard out there, I'm willing to pivot. I am. Appreciate the question. We had Skill send in a question. Says Tua, Deshaun Watson, Daniel Jones. Who should I start? Out of the bunch, I prefer Daniel Jones. Number 1, Deshaun Watson. Number 2, Tua, number 3. So I would suggest playing Daniel Jones there. Daniel Jones is right in front of, literally back-to-back with Deshaun Watson. So I think both of them are really good plays in the given week as top 12 options. But yeah, it's kind of an up to you on those two. I don't really feel like playing Tua considering, of course, the weather concerns and how bad he has played over the last couple weeks here. Thank you. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat here, okay? We caught up on a couple questions via Super. I appreciate all of you who sent those in. Appreciate all of you who have already joined us this morning, or this afternoon, actually, and have gone ahead and clicked the like button down below. We'll be here for the next, I'd say, when did we start? 12:30. So I'll be here until probably 2:30 answering questions, probably watching the game with y'all. And this one's going to be an interesting one for sure. I mean, obviously, Kirk Cousins got the ball back. They should have, quite frankly, had a defensive touchdown there and been going for 2 right now. But either way, for fantasy purposes, I think this kind of helps because we get more yardage out of it. We get more fantasy points. Therefore, it's great. But either way, as long as it goes to overtime, that's even better for fantasy purposes. All right, let's see here. We had Harris Khan says full PPR, need 2. Higgins, ETN, Dobbins. Higgins, ETN. Yeah, I'll take Higgins and ETN there. Feeling Dobbins because Kenyon Drake, healthy and active, can decide between Higgins and ETN tomorrow. Yeah, if you want to play Dobbins today, by all means go for it. And then at the pivot, we'll figure out the other play tomorrow. But yeah, at the moment, I prefer the other two. But if you've got a good feeling about him against Cleveland, then go for it. Roll it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Ali Ottman. Let's see here, Ali. Where art thou, question, Ali? I don't see a question, Ali. If you could do me a solid and type it in the chat, it'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. All right. Green followed up by saying Cooper over Peoples-Jones, even with the injury. Lack of targets, yes. I would still play it. Again, listen, guys, I'm not going to 100% be accurate. If you would like to play DPJ, don't let me and my decision-making pivot you 100% in a direction. If you've got a feeling about something, go with it. Okay, we're on the same page. Thank you. Can you throw the wide receiver rankings up before the Browns game? I honestly do not have a graphic ready for it, so I wouldn't be able to do so. I can convey it to you, but yeah, I don't have a graphic. Thank you. Kinger says, "Hi Andrew, full PPR, flex, Kirk, Dobbins, or ETN. Out of those, sorry, it's not ETN. That's Knight. I looked at the question above it. Kirk, Dobbins, or Knight in a full PPR this week. I probably play Kirk there. It's between Kirk and Dobbins. I don't think I want to play Zonovan Knight in any sort of capacity in comparison to those two options. I'm actually curious even where I had them ranked earlier this morning. Kirk, full PPR 42. Where's Dobbins in comparison? Dobbins is... Where is Dobbins actually? I have Dobbins below him. Yeah, I'd probably play Christian Kirk there. Thank you. Appreciate it. The Legend 27 in the chat was saying start 2, Hollywood, Evans, Dobbins, or Olave. Out of the group, if I'm starting 2, I'm probably playing Dobbins and Olave. Thank you. Jason Rawls says, which one, Pirine, Hubbard, or Strong? I'd wait till tomorrow and probably look towards playing Strong because if Ramondre's out, Strong is the play. Outside of that, you would probably then just pivot to playing Hubbard. Where is Waddle ranked? Whew, man, he's really low. Of the remaining wide receivers, he's ranked 30th. So, actually, well, this doesn't really count because I haven't taken Justin Jefferson out of here and I haven't taken Michael Pittman Jr., who were ahead of him. So, technically, he'd be out of the remaining wide receivers, 28. Just to give you some perspective, behind guys like Olave, Zay Jones, Chris Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Schuster, Kirk, Judy, Wilson, Devonta Smith, excuse me, T. Higgins, Godwin, Hopkins, behind those kind of guys. Let's see here. We had, okay, let me see. Did Ali follow up with the question? Ali did. Awesome. Higgins or Dobbins in a full, okay, Higgins or Dobbins. Full PPR, I'm leaning towards Dobbins due to the matchup, but I'll follow your lead. Interesting. We're following Andrew's lead here. I think Dobbins is probably a safe 10 fantasy points. Safe. If he scores a massive touchdown or has another big run, fantastic. He probably is a 15-point player. That being said, in a full PPR scoring format, I think with Higgins healthy, he can score 15 fantasy points in his sleep without even scoring a touchdown. So I'm probably leaning towards the Higgins side of that deal. Thank you. Again, primarily because it's full PPR. And in a half PPR, you know, there's a conversation to be had there. Adam Schefter said Goddard's out. All right, Sergio, let me look that up. Thank you. I appreciate you going out of your way to find that for me. Let's see here. Adam Schefter. All right, Mr. Shefty, where art thou? Report. The Eagles did not activate Dallas Goedert today as of 9 minutes ago, so he is not eligible to play on Sunday. Yeah, that makes Devonta Smith an even better play. That's why, I mean, hey, that's good for us in terms of fantasy. For those of you who have the likes of a Devonta Smith and or an A.J. Brown, at least you get a little bit more potential target opportunity there. For sure, thank you. We had another question here from Brandon. Brandon says, you said the pivot to Knight if Stevenson is active. Since I have... Correct. Can't do that. Knight plays first. I understand now. So then the following option would then be to play what? Other options are Hubbard, Gus, and... Well, Gus can't play today because you're not playing him. Burkhead, Mac. Then you would play Hubbard there, Brandon. You would play Hubbard. Chris All In says start one. One wide receiver, one flex, full PPR. Zonovan Knight, Brian Robinson, Leonard Fournette, Gabe Davis, Mike Evans, Chris Moore. I'm playing Chris Moore, a wide receiver, and Brian Robinson at flex specifically in your case. What down is it, guys? I just saw sack. Did he get sacked? Or no, he tried to run for it. What's the dealio? Is it fourth? Amar sends in a question. Says, full PPR. Pick 2. Zeke, Devonta Smith, Chris Moore, DPJ. Out of the group, I would play Zeke and Devonta Smith. Thank you. Zach Moss to the edge. Zach Moss almost seals the game there. Zach Moss is probably going to be the number 1 waiver wire pick of the week, by the way, guys. Just fair warning. It's not a warning. It's more like a get ready if you've got high priority and or fab. Terry R says Strong, Evans, Judy, Houston's Moore, or St. Brown. Pick 2. St. Brown, and if in fact we're in a situation where Ramondre is inactive, I'd play Strong. Otherwise, we'd play St. Brown along with Judy. Thank you. Garrett Wilson or Juju, Patrick says. Patrick, I'm probably leaning towards... do I want to still play Garrett Wilson there? I have to see exactly where Houston's secondary lies as of right now, because I know there's a lot of potential for 2 or 3 of their starting cornerbacks to be out this week. If that's going to be the case, I would probably play Juju. If it's not, and they end up playing on Sunday, then at that point we'll pick Garrett Wilson. But that's probably a tomorrow question. We'll have rankings on screen to solidify that for sure, though, Patrick. Thank you. J.K. Dobbins, Foreman, or Knight. Choose 2. At that point, I play J.K. Dobbins, and I'd follow it up by playing Bam Knight. Thank you. Let's see here. Terry R says Strong, Evans, Judy. Okay, we already took care of that first Terry question. The following Terry question is Kamara, Mike Williams, Knight, Mixon, Pacheco. Pick 2 in a full PPR. Mike Williams, number 1, Mixon, number 2. Those are my 2 suggestions there. Thank you. Appreciate it. We had a question from Anvesh. Anvesh, let me see where you're at, my man. Anvesh says, half PPR, I need 1 for RB2. Dylan, Hubbard, Swift, Rex. I play Swift there. Is Kevin Harris worth a pickup if Stevenson is out? I would say no. I'd say Pierre Strong is the lead back in that scenario. And then the following question is Bills or Packers defense. I'll take the Bills tonight. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. J.K. Dobbins or Knight or for me. Yeah, we already took care of that from, okay, awesome. Perfect. Moving down the list. PPR, Dobbins or Stevenson. Again, I'm not going to, this is my suggestion. If, in fact, you have Pierre Strong, you can wait for Stevenson. If you do not, then you have to play Dobbins tonight. They're Hutton. Yo, what's up? How's it going? Rum. Hey, Andrew, full PPR, Higgins or Waddle? I'll take Higgins there. Marcus Taylor says Kamara or Chubb in a full PPR. I'm probably still playing Chubb there. Again, even though Chubb has struggled as of late, Kamara is a little bit riskier in comparison. Because we know for a fact that the Cleveland Browns want to run the ball. I can't say the same for the New Orleans Saints. I don't think they want to run the ball. Is Zach Moss going to be the defining factor here? Did he almost get a first down there? I think he was just short, right? They're going to kick this field goal, though. And how many points does Chase McLaughlin have? Let me see here. I should have followed my instincts and picked him up in all of my leagues. I had a feeling yesterday when I was going over the PrizePick entries. I had a feeling. What does he have right now? He's got 21 points. The dude has already made 5 field goals today. 21 points. Yo, that's better than quarterbacks. Oh my gosh. What a crazy week. Father says Huntley or Tannehill. I'll take Huntley. No, you know what? I'll probably take Tannehill there. I think Huntley's fine if you're just banking on rushing upside. I just don't know if it's a guarantee. I'll probably just play Tannehill there, actually. Yeah. Barkley or Connor, I'll take Connor there. If Strong starts, play him over Kamara or Smith. Play him over Kamara or Smith. If it's in a full PPR, I'm still playing Devonta Smith there. In a half PPR, I would probably play him over both those options. Standard, probably same. Let's see here. Where are we at? Jake Meyer sends in a question. Thank you very much, Jake. Let's see here. Where's your question at, Jake? Jake Meyer says, in a full PPR, Amari Cooper, Garrett Wilson, Chris Godwin at wide receiver 3. If I'm picking one of those 3 options, I will play Chris Godwin. Jake. As for your follow-up, pick 2 between Mixon, Etienne, Akers, Fournette, Brian Robinson. I would play Mixon and Etienne. Thank you very much, Jake. Appreciate it. Kyle Strobel says Lawrence or Jones in a 4-point per passing touchdown league. I have Lawrence ahead of him this week. Thank you. I have Lawrence ahead of Daniel Jones. Hey, Andrew, how's the weather in Buffalo? No clue. Currently watching the Indianapolis Colts risk it all to try to get a first down. And if they got the first down and it's official, then the game's over. Sit Diggs in the snow for Lamb in a 4-man league. Stacked? Yeah. At that point, you can pivot and you're perfectly fine. In other leagues, we don't have as much of a privilege of being able to kind of pivot in that direction. But considering you're fortunate enough with the the stacked roster in itself, you can certainly make that pivot. Peoples Jones, Hollywood, Chris Moore, or London. Out of the group, I like Chris Moore 1, Peoples Jones 2, Hollywood 3, and London 4. Mike, we answered that question earlier. We'll go Connor over Barkley. Win or go home, full PPR, DPJ or Garrett Wilson. I like Garrett Wilson this week. I still think that he's a viable option, even with the quarterback switch there. Elijah or Chris Moore? Yeah, it's 1,000% Chris Moore. Let's see here. Pick 3: Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Amari Cooper, Garrett Wilson. I mean, you mentioned the same player twice, so you're gonna have to change that, Big Mike. Edit that. Who's the final wide receiver that you meant to type in? Oh my God, they marked them short. No way. No way. No. You got to be kidding me, right? They marked them short of the first? All right. This is scripted now. Right? This is scripted. Jeff Saturday's throwing the challenge flag, as he should. I mean, I don't understand that positioning. That looked like it was a clear first down. Unless they want to say that he didn't have forward progress, because I thought he broke the line and then was kind of pushed back into an extent. What is happening? I don't know, but it's the Matt Ryan curse. Where is Huntley in your rankings? Connor, I will give you an idea here. So, as of right now, Huntley is my number 17th ranked quarterback. Well, okay. 17 including Kirk Cousins in the mix. So he would be the 16th. So he is behind Tannehill, Goff, Rodgers, Heineke, guys like that. Deshaun Watson, Daniel Jones. But he's in the conversation. He's not out of the conversation for sure. iShy101, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Says, with Matt White out, I think it's Mike White, but it's okay, no problem. Does that downgrade Bam Knight? Yes. I got David Montgomery, Rashad White, J.K. Dobbins. At this moment, I would probably play David Montgomery or J.K. Dobbins in this current scenario. And let me see. Who do I have ranked full PPR? If we're going full PPR at running back, out of the group, where is the players that we have? I have David Montgomery at 19. I have J.K. Dobbins at 22. So I'd probably go and suggest Montgomery there. If you want to play J.K., you absolutely can. Again, they're only 4 spots apart, but I know for a fact I'm not playing Rashad White in that overall circumstance. If you're looking for upside, I think, yeah, J.K. Dobbins is probably your highest upside player because, again, Montgomery's going to have to really rely upon that receiving work, which you'll get in Sunday's game against the Philadelphia Eagles once Philadelphia mounts a lead. And he'll certainly get his PPR work in terms of receptions, and that in my mind will give him the overall week. But if you want to play the upside and hope for J.K. Dobbins having another massive performance, you can. Otherwise, my suggestion is Montgomery. Starter Kit Duke says half PPR. James Cook, Burkhead, Dillon, Pierre Strong. Again, if Pierre Strong is unimpeded in that backfield, he is the starter. If, in fact, Ramondre is active tomorrow, I would then pivot to playing A.J. Dillon. Thank you. And then if we need to pivot again, we'd pivot to Rex Burkhead. JHDW143 says, is Goddard out? Yes, he is officially out as of 10 to 15 minutes ago, according to Adam Schefter, because they did not activate him to play this week. Did they really call him short even? Someone tell me, was the replay actually, the Colts got robbed? Did they really? Oh, no. Hey, hear me out. The referees screwed over the Minnesota Vikings with that early whistle. Therefore, they're like, we need to even this game out. Otherwise, we're going to get completely ripped after this game. We might not have jobs. I don't know if that's going to, I don't know if that's our actual mindset, but, they got to even it out a little bit, right? Even if it wasn't, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, my God. What an incredible game, huh? If anybody's going to throw this lead, of course, it's Matt Ryan. Of course. Okay, Dalvin Cook on a screen. Oh, my God. He's gone. He's gone. Go. Oh, my God. Get in the end zone. Come on. Yes. Touchdown. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Now, that is what I love to see. Now we need a 2-point conversion. Let's pull together our best play. Let's go. Woo! What a play. Dalvin Cook, baby. Saving our fantasy seasons, huh? Let's go. Goodness gracious. Full PPR with Mike White not throwing. Jets bench Garrett Wilson for Njoku. You can do that, but I don't even think I have Njoku that highly ranked in a full PPR. In a full PPR, okay, just hear me out. I have David Njoku ranked as my number 39 flex player and Garrett Wilson as my number 37. So they're close. To be honest, I wouldn't even blame you for making that pivot. I don't mind it. I think they're close enough. Dak or Deshaun, I'll take Dak there. Kirk Cousins drops back, finds TJ Hawkinson, and we're going to overtime. Well, maybe not. You know, to be totally honest, what are the chances that Minnesota gets the ball back and they kick a field goal and they win the game in regular time? Actually, probably won't be able to, right? Because Indianapolis can just kneel it out. Man, the momentum is on their side. The Minnesota Vikings are roaring back. Yo, this is crazy. The Colts are trash. I mean, we knew that already. I mean, we're not surprised, Isaac. We're not surprised. What a crazy, exciting game, huh? If you're there in the stadium, I mean, whew, I'm going crazy at home. That's fun. Apologies if I wooed too loud and it was deafening. If that was the case, my apologies. Obviously, after the fact, but my goodness, what an interesting turn of events. Matt Ryan on ice, yeah. Hey Andrew, question: DPJ or Cooper? Again, right now, I'm leaning towards Cooper. It may sound like absolute madness, but that's just the way that I play fantasy. I'm going Cooper there. Full PP. Okay, yeah, we already took care of that. Okay, full PPR from Hero. Hero says, full PPR, 1 flex, 1 tight end, Cooper, Higgins, Njoku, Dulcich. Out of those group of players, I would play Njoku and Higgins. Thank you, Hero. Sean says, I went from 10th place to the playoffs. Shout out Patriots defense. As a Patriots fan, need all of your advice. Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you. Yeah, again, Patriots defense every year is good. I think they've been a top 5 defense in fantasy for 5 consecutive years. So every season you got to draft them. Always. You got to draft them. Bill Belichick just knows what he's doing. Let's see here. We move on. Okay, so Big Mike fixed up the question. He said, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Amari Cooper, T. Higgins. If I'm picking 3 options there, I'm playing Garrett Wilson, I'm playing T. Higgins, and I'm playing Amari Cooper. Thank you. Justin Jimenez says Tua or Watson. I'll play Watson. Matt Ryan gets sacked. Oh my God. What a disaster. What an effing disaster. Listen, if we'll talk about it after the game is concluded. Let's answer more questions here. Tannehill, Goff, Daniel Jones, Brady. I'll take Daniel Jones there. Njoku or Andrews. Carlos, I have Mark Andrews ranked higher than him. I think it's against my religion to sit a player of that caliber. I know what kind of talent he is. He's just got to be put in a perfect position to succeed in terms of opportunity. Obviously hasn't had that in the last couple weeks. I think that kind of switches up this week. Defense kicker rankings. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Because, again, I don't think you're starting anybody in this game. I don't think you're starting a Cleveland defense, you know what I mean? Or Cleveland, I guess if you're starting Justin Tucker, you're starting Justin Tucker. There's not really a big issue there. Watson or Fields? It's for sure Fields. Luke sends in a question, says, I have Dobbins and Mike Williams, full PPR. Yeah, I'm absolutely playing Mike Williams there. What do we do about Waddle? Probably start him if you don't have anybody else. Otherwise, you're benching, right? If you had another option on your team where you were super confident in playing them, right, you would play them. But at this moment, I mean, that's totally up to what you have available. We also had a follow-up from Justin Jimenez that says Dobbins, Swift, Najee, Brian Robinson, and Knight, RB2. I'm playing Brian Robinson there as my RB2. Austin says, Amari Cooper or Judy this week? Game starts in 5 minutes. Let's see here. In a half PPR, I have Jerry Judy at 20, and I have Amari Cooper at 17. So I'll play Amari there. Lex says Swift, Dobbins, Brian Robinson. Need 2. I play Dobbins and Brian Robinson. Thank you. We have Higgins, Cooper, Chris Moore. Again, I'm playing Cooper and Higgins there. Chris Moore is a little bit lower ranked as a lower end wide receiver too. Tristan says half PPR flex, Keenan, Kamara, or Christian Watson. Out of the group, I'm probably playing Christian Watson in a half PPR. Should I play Gabe Davis, D-Hop, or Strong in the flex? I play D-Hop there. If in fact Strong is unimpeded, I'd probably play him over D-Hop in a half PPR. But at this moment, considering we don't really have that information, my suggestion is just to play D-Hop or expect to play D-Hop. Palmer or Chris Moore in a full PPR, I'll play Chris Moore there, Mark. I think Palmer is certainly a top 40 option wide receiver. I just don't think he's a better overall option than Chris Moore unless he's going to score, a huge touchdown in that game. It's not out of the realm of possibility, especially considering the injuries to, Tennessee secondary in the given circumstance. Half PPR, Christian Watson or Cooper? Yeah, it's still Christian Watson there, guys. A lot of the rankings that existed on Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday's videos are still existent today. So, they haven't changed much. I mean, there are some positions that I've adjusted, but they really haven't switched up that much. What's your take on Burkhead? Good luck. My take on Burkhead is purely just good luck. If you want to start Burkhead, you have to take on the full reign of risk. I remember last season, week 16, against the Chargers, the guy went for 27 fantasy points and a half PPR and had himself an unbelievably massive week. But you just got to understand that whenever you're associated with the Houston Texans, there is still value to be had. He's not out of the top 36 running back rankings. I have him currently, in terms of half PPR, ranked 36, quite literally 36 straight up. It's just a matter of, is he going to get the receiving utilization that we need him to get in comparison to Derek Ogunbowale? Which, again, at this moment, I don't believe he does outright, which kind of lowers his overall upside. Would you play Davis with Beasley coming back, or Waddle or Curtis Samuel? Out of the group, I'm probably playing Waddle there, and then Curtis Samuel, and then Gabe Davis. I don't even think I have Gabe Davis inside of my top 45 wide receivers. I think he's way lower than that. He just doesn't do enough within the offense, doesn't get enough opportunity, and certainly hasn't been consistent. Sanders scoring Diggs in bad weather at Keenan Allen. Wow. If the weather is really bad by the time we get to game time, guys, I'd pivot there. Dobbins or McKinnon. I played Dobbins this week, Barry. Komet, Goddard, or Everett. Considering Goddard is out, not playing this week, Jacob, I play Komet. Thank you. Kyle Strobel says, Bills or Ravens defense? Play the Bills. For sure, play the Bills. Ravens defense or not, I have them as my number 12th ranked defense. Again, let's talk about this really quickly just so we get it out of the way. Top 12 defenses for this week as of today. Chiefs number 1, Eagles number 2, Bills number 3, Cowboys 4, Patriots 5, Steelers 6, Broncos 7, Packers 8, Jets 9, Cardinals 10, Panthers 11, Ravens 12. So that is the current designation of order. If in fact you don't have anybody other than the Baltimore Ravens defense out of that list available, I mean, again, I'm sure Arizona, Carolina, Denver, Green Bay could be available in your leagues, and if they are, I'd much rather have them going this today. Thank you. But like we can tell from defenses like today, I mean, how many points does Indianapolis' defense have? Defense is, as much as I don't like to say it, it is luck based. You getting a pick six or getting any sort of points implicated from that is often going to be difficult to guarantee. So at the current circumstance, yeah, it's probably looking like, let me see here. Like the Colts defense currently has 21 fantasy points, and they just got 36 consecutive points dumped on their heads, right? A lot of luck implied there. All right, so we got a minute 22, and Minnesota's getting the ball back. Minnesota's winning this game. They're kicking a field goal. They're winning the game. They're not even letting it go to overtime. It's not even a question. DPJ or Waddle? DPJ this week. Hyper. Sanders scoring. Eckler, Kamara, Zeke, Dobbins. I play Eckler, Kamara, and Zeke. Ando. Singletary or Chris Moore? I play Chris Moore. If Stevenson active, sit Burkhead? Yes. If Stevenson is active, I'd play him over Burkhead. Let's see here. What else we have? Pickens or Chris Moore? I'll play Chris Moore in a full PPR. Deontay Johnson or Jalen Waddle? Let me see here. I have Waddle there. Yeah, I have Deontay Johnson 3 spots behind Waddle. If the weather's bad, just pivot. There's no need to ego challenge the weather. I think there are some circumstances where you can get away with it, but if the weather is really that bad, is that a pass interference? What's the deal there? If the weather is that bad, we should probably pivot. Washington ? Washington could be decent this week. I like them earlier this week more than I like them now. I've progressed towards an idea where this could be a game where Washington plays well, but I'm not fully bought in on it. Let's see here. Okay, we took care of that. I have Pollard, Foreman, Monty, Mostert, pick 2 full PPR. Pollard and Montgomery are my 2 suggestions. Their skills. I've got Josh Allen and I have Dak Prescott. Please help. I mean, there's nothing that I can help with. It's either you're going to start one or the other. My suggestion is that if the weather is bad, you pivot. Otherwise, you're playing Josh Allen. And when I mean weather is bad, you have to analyze that with your own eyes, because I don't know how it's going to look 4 hours from now. I can see how it looks now for sure. Without a doubt, I can give you my opinion now. But in 4 hours from now, when I'm not live streaming, I can't be there to make that decision for you, right? So it's going to have to be an idea of like, if you see the weather and it looks like it's going to be an issue for receivers making plays and or the quarterback moving around in the pocket and his mobility because of the impact of the wind, the snow, the weather in itself, then yeah, pivoting is not a bad option at all. Pedro's Lucario says standard, pick one. What is that? Is that a notification? Okay. Standard, pick one, wide receiver / tight end flex. Chark or Okonkwo. I play Okonkwo this week. I don't like Chark versus Sauce Gardner. Follow up, pick one, super flex. Gibson, Dalton, or Ritter. I have Ritter ranked the highest out of that group. Thank you. Let's see here. Cooper sends in a question. Says, Rifari Cooper says, do I start Mahomes or Hurts? I like Jalen Hurts significantly more than every other quarterback. He has had 3 consecutive weeks of 30 fantasy points. He takes on Chicago, one of the worst defenses in the league. I'm for sure playing Jalen Hurts there. Follow-up question, do I start Garrett Wilson or Terry McLaurin? 1,000% Terry McLaurin. And do I start Cole Kmet or Pat Freiermuth? For sure, Cole Kmet. Thank you very much, Cooper. Appreciate it. Started the 49ers defense, Dalvin Cook. So far, so good in the playoffs. Good to hear, Greg. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Kamara or Strong if he starts in a full PPR. I'm considering playing Strong over Kamara there if there's an unimpeded opportunity and Ramondre is out. So I guess we're going overtime here, huh? I guess that's the case. Interesting. Dulcich or Jeff Driscoll this week. I'm playing Dulcich as long as it's a PPR format. If it's a standard league, I'd consider Driscoll there. Rashad White or Cordero Patterson. I play Cordero there, Shammy. Dobbins, White, or Knight. Jared, I play Dobbins here today. Like right now. It should have already been played. Here we go. Plus, should I start Tyreek Hill or Garrett Wilson, says Cooper. Tyreek Hill or Garrett Wilson? I mean, at that point, I think man, at that position, I might just have to play Tyreek Hill. It's kind of hard to bench him. It's a matter of, like I was mentioning in regards to earlier, if the weather is bad enough, you can pivot. I just don't like that pivot as much as I do some of the other ones. You know, like a Josh Allen going to a Dak Prescott is understandable because they could score a similar realm of points. But Tyreek Hill has so much more upside than Garrett Wilson, especially with the quarterback switch there, that it's tough to immediately and without a doubt say, yes, that is the case. So for right now, I probably say let's try to stick with Tyreek Hill until we have a full designation of if that weather is really that bad, we just get out of there as fast as you can and just hope that Garrett Wilson can come up with a decent week here. Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon? It's Aaron Jones unless he's inactive. I mean, that if he's starting, he's the guy. That's what I would say, Terry. Gabe Davis or Zay Jones in a standard? I still play Zay Jones there. Again, Zay Jones, 8 catches in 3 out of the last 4 weeks. Even in a standard format, I think it's a lot of opportunity for him to go ahead and continue to produce this week against the Cowboys, as long as that streak continues. Rod says full PPR, Waddle, Chubb, DPJ, or Chris Moore. Yeah, I'm playing Chubb there out of the group. You got to play your studs, especially in the playoffs. Goff or Justin Fields? For sure, Justin Fields. For sure, Justin Fields. No problem, Shammy. Let's see here. Goff or Tua? Do I have Goff ahead of him? I have Goff 1 spot ahead of Tua this week, which tells you a lot about what I think about Tua, especially considering Goff is playing against the most difficult matchup at the quarterback position in the game. They delayed the next game, really, just because of this one, huh? Love to see it. We love to see it. Would you play Fields or Allen? This is what I'll tell you. Considering, I even considered this in one of my leagues, right, where I had already drafted Josh Allen, picked up Fields off the waivers. I am already starting Fields. I'm not even worrying about it. I didn't want to put myself in a scenario to have to worry about it in any sort of capacity, so I already pivoted. Now, if I can get to, later tonight, and it looks like it's clear skies and there's no weather at all, then I'll make the switch again. I'll go back to Josh Allen. I don't have a problem backpedaling on decisions. It's fluid rankings because there are so many variables that go into our decision making that I'm 100% willing to switch up on a dime as long as I get new pieces of information that will dictate the potential success or a failure of a player. So at the moment, yeah, I'm playing Fields there until otherwise noted. Hill or Dulcich? I'll go Dulcich there. Hill would be only played in a standard. I'd play Dulcich in a half or a full PPR. Fields or Dak? I still prefer Fields. Olave, Monty, DPJ, Chris Moore, pick 2, wide receiver, and a flex. My matchup has Cook, Drew, so I need some help. All right, no problem. Let's see here. TF, what do we got here? Twisted Fate says Monty, DPJ, Chris. Yeah, out of the group, if we're talking about a half PPR scoring format, I would probably suggest going Monty and Chris Moore. If it's a full PPR, I'd probably play DPJ and Chris Moore. Thank you. Mike Williams or Strong PPR, I'd still play Mike Williams there. Even if Strong has a full participation, I play Mike Williams there. Yeah, it's going to be difficult for me not to start either of the 2 Chargers receiving options. Their primary receiving options. Well, yeah, being Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler this week, especially considering the matchup. I just realized once again that we didn't have the chat on screen, so let me go ahead and let me pop that open here. I've been reading for the chat for the last 30 minutes, and I didn't even realize it wasn't there. My apologies. Let's go ahead. Is there a new report from Adam Schefter by any chance? Is there anything new here today in the last couple of minutes? Cole Beasley active. That only hurts Isaiah McKenzie, if anyone. Texans are placing Dameon Pierce on the injured reserve. So again, if you have Dameon Pierce, you guys can go ahead and drop him right now and pick up available players that are in your leagues. And yeah, take advantage of that. Okay, so let's see here. We have, let's close that. Let's close that. Let's close that. Where art thou? Okay, so let's go to OBS. Let's go ahead and let's go to YouTube chat. Let's connect that one and let's turn it on. Boom, perfect. All right, awesome. Got the YouTube chat on screen, so you guys actually know who I'm kind of addressing while I'm talking about it. By the way, before we continue, we are just beginning overtime in this game, at least on my screen. They're about to kick off. If you guys have not yet already, do me a favor. Click the like button down below. Also, for those of you who are trying to play outside of your own home leagues and you're trying to play daily fantasy at your fingertips, be sure to check out PrizePicks. Currently, they have the promotion of the 12 days of Pickmas, where they go ahead and they have a new kind of special theme every single day. Today's theme in specific is Catch the Gingerbread Man. Over the course of today, there have been flash plays where there are discounted prices for specific more or less numbers on given players. You can go ahead and put together entries going into the week. We talked about a bunch of entries on yesterday's episode in terms of must-start players. The kickers, conversation, we're halfway there. We just need Younghoe Koo tomorrow to lock it in. I don't think we had anybody else in today's games in regards to tomorrow, but either way, there's a lot of entries to be made via the NFL, so if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. Use promo code AndrewDay, and when you do so, your first-time deposit is immediately doubled up to $100. Thank you very much. All right, let's get ahead, and that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. All right. Where are we at in terms of questions? Let's pop that open and that. Awesome. Josh Allen or Deshaun Watson? I'd play Josh Allen there. Again, you don't have the privilege or you don't have the leverage of time. You have to decide now. At this point, if I'm in your position, quite frankly, I'd play Josh Allen. I wouldn't even care about the weather. I feel that much more confident about that pivot. Or, sorry, about staying with Josh Allen than pivoting. Keenan Allen or Godwin in a standard format, I'd probably play Keenan Allen there. Watson or Lazard? I think that's Lazard. Is the X next to Z? Yes. I play Christian Watson. Conklin or Taysom Hill? Taysom Hill. Pacheco or Kamara? Pacheco. Dulcich or Komet? George Henry says full PPR DPJ Foreman. I play DPJ there. Flex PPR Montgomery, Robinson, Foreman, Watson. I play Christian Watson out of the group. Thank you. I'm worried about man, I was worried I sat Fields over Cousins. Really? You didn't see the video on Thursday? Why does everybody miss the video on Thursday? I had Fields as my number 3 ranked quarterback. At this point, still have him in that number 2-3 kind of pivoting position. Like I was mentioning throughout the video, since week 5, the guy's been averaging 26 fantasy points per game. It's kind of hard to sit, Justin Fields in any capacity, regardless of who he's playing against, because of his rushing upside. Come on, Kirk. Let's go. Figure it out, boys. DeAndre Swift or James Cook? Yeah, give me DeAndre Swift there, Ryan. Thinking Cook might see more with the weather. There's a potential. I can't guarantee it. So I'd rather just play the guy I'm more comfortable with overall. Rashad White or Gabe Davis? I'll take Rashad White there. Darren Waller has been activated. Do I start him over Evan Ingram? Probably not. No. I think we give Darren Waller a week until. Okay, this is what I'll say. With Darren Waller active, I would play him over. I have him currently as my number. Let me see here. So if Hawkinson's out, and okay, so if Hawkinson is out of the combination because he's already played, theoretically, I would play Darren Waller as my number 10 remaining tight end. So it would go number 1 Kelsey, number 2 Andrews, number 3 Schultz, number 4 Njoku. Never mind, Dallas Goedert's also out. So let's get rid of Dallas Goedert off this list. So it would go again, like I was mentioning, Kelsey, Andrews, Schultz, Njoku, Komet, Freiermuth, Ingram, Okonkwo, and then Waller at 9. Knox at 10, Dulcich, Everett, Juwan Johnson if he's active. Otherwise, Taysom Hill, Jeff Driscoll, Austin Hooper, Conklin, Ottman, Moreau. I don't know. Moreau probably is not even a good play anymore. So let's delete Moreau off this piece of information. Again, variables change rankings like that. That's why I always say rankings are subject to change. Jelani says Daniel Jones or Tua. Give me Daniel Jones there. You like Fultz? Sorry, do you like Folk or Lutz this week? Here's my question. Where is the New England game? Let's see here. Week 15. If the New England game is in Vegas, I'll take Nick Folk. Yeah, it's in Vegas. I'll take Nick Folk. Indoors with that weather, I'll take it. I'll take Nick Folk there this week. I like Will Lutz. I don't think he's a bad kicker. I just think that the offense sucks. And it's not like we suck so much that we can get in the field goal ranges. No, we're punting majority of the time, kind of a scenario. Let's see here. Kirk Cousins goes to the backup tight end, gets about 8 yards. Not bad. Okay. Rashad White, Chris Moore, full PPR. Anthony Ramos, I would suggest Chris Moore there. Thank you. Thoughts on Aguilar or Chris Moore over Juju or Foreman? Yeah, I'd play Chris Moore over Foreman. I'm fine with that, but Juju stays. Dulcich or Waller, I'd play Waller over him. Again, if he's active and we have full confirmation of that, Matt, yeah, let's play Waller there this week. I don't mind it at all. I think that the Raiders are in a position where they need to win out to get into the playoffs, and they need other weapons. And with Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller coming back, I equate it to, if you guys have seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy, at the end of the second movie, the Two Towers, we had Gandalf with the Riders of Rohirrim come down the hill on like the 7th day, look to the west, or whatever the quote is. That is literally what Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow is for the Raiders offense. They're literally Gandalf coming down the hill to murk the Uruk-hai. That is literally my definition. And at this point, I think the Raiders could honestly win a couple games here and probably win out, considering they get a little bit more help going forward. Derek Carr definitely does get a little bit of an elevation in terms of his potential in the given week as well. So Derek Carr could be even a better play than a guy like Tua this week. Flex option, Josh Palmer or Latavius Murray. In a full PPR, I'll go Josh Palmer. In a half, I'll take Latavius. Helms deep. Yeah, Helms deep. Exactly. Waddle or Chris Moore, I'll take Chris Moore there. Card, Jones, or Brady, I'll take Daniel Jones. Swift or Strong if Stevenson sits. Yeah, if Stevenson sits, James, I'll play Strong. Otherwise, again, yeah, you know the deal. Brian Robinson or Saquon, I'll take Saquon there. No problem, Ryan. Glad I could help. Ando says, standard scoring, Dobbins or Keenan Allen. I'd probably play Dobbins there in standard. The Colts are trash. Yes, they are, Emerald. Yes, they are. Unfortunately, you know what the thing is? Their players are not bad. The decision makers for the organization, the head coach, the offensive coordinator, they are not. Did he just throw a pick there? No, he didn't, right? Okay. Those decision makers, whoever decided, hey, we're up 33-0, let's play passive. Let's run the ball 3 times and punt. I get it. I understand. But you have to also be in a position to where you got to continue to score at very least field goals every single drive, especially when you have Matt Ryan there. The decision-making, the play calling in itself, they would run the ball first down, run the ball second down, immediately went for a screen pass to Michael Pittman Jr. from 4 yards maximum on 3rd and 8. Like, the decision-making is the issue. It's not really, in my mind, the players. It's purely the coaching staff that is inept at this point, which, again, doesn't really surprise us. They've been like this all season long, regardless of whether or not Jeff Saturday's been there or Frank Wright. It's just been bad all year. Let's see here. Anonymous says, with Waller back, should I start him over Dulcich versus Arizona? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Listen, as much as I like Dulcich and I like Arizona's matchup in specific, it just seems to me like it just, I don't know if I can trust Dulcich. I really don't think I can. or even flex him over more. No, I wouldn't flex him over more. Knox or Waller? I'd rather play Waller, especially with the wind conditions and all that kind of jazz tonight, Jason. I just rather play Waller. Anyone know if Taylor is hurt badly? No clue. I guess we'll kind of get a designation by Monday or Tuesday as to what it looks like. Hopefully, it's not going to be a big deal. But at very most, probably going to miss this next week, which at that point would pivot you into picking up Zach Moss, of course, as the number one priority in terms of waivers. Let me see here. Did anybody send in a Drew sent in a super chat. Thank you very much, Drew. I appreciate that, my man. It says, I need to Pollard, ETN, Pacheco, Dobbins, White. Yeah, we're going to go Pollard. Pollard and Pacheco are the 1-2 there. Number 3 would be ETN. Dobbins would be 4, and White would be 5. So yeah, in your case, when you need 2, it's Pacheco and Pollard. I appreciate it. Thank you. Waller or Okonkwo? I'd rather play Okonkwo this week. Pittman gets no yak. Pittman, here's the issue with Pittman, Isaac. His average depth of target is awful. He should be utilized down the field, beyond the sticks every single time. But instead, they have him catching routes 5 to 6 yards away from this line of scrimmage. Michael Pittman is not that kind of a wide receiver. I just don't understand why they want to utilize him in that capacity. Again, it's systemic, beginning with play calling and coaching and whatever they've tried to build there and why they want to continue. I just don't get it, man. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't believe that they could sit there and think, yeah, this is the best way that we could possibly use Michael Pittman Jr. Like, they're joking themselves. It's ridiculous. Imagine we get a tie here. That'd be just ridiculous. Oh, that'd be painful. Waller, but I have Adams and Jacobs starting. I mean, at this point, yeah, that's probably one too many eggs in the basket. So probably just pivot away from it. Yeah, that would be one too many eggs in the basket. Especially considering we're expecting Adams and Jacobs to both go for 20 points each. It'd be a miracle if like Waller could go for 15 himself. He'd be at like an 8 to 10 point range at very best in my mind. That's why I have him ranked like at 10 or 9. I was projected to win by 100. Wait, I was projected to win 117 to 79. Now it's 117 to 107. Getting scary. I think you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Again, projections, I don't really ever look at projections, quite frankly. I think a lot of these apps, whether it's the NFL, Yahoo, ESPN, the projection algorithms are based on like preseason numbers and whatever points allowed metrics they want to utilize, along with like, I don't know, whatever, averages allowed. It's really weird. Again, you look at, the projections every week. In majority of the leagues I play in, especially this year, based on how bad offenses have been, every single week, majority of the teams in my 12-team leagues are all in the red. They're all below projection. Projection really, again, doesn't mean much. Driscoll or Muth? I'd play Muth there. Peter, thank you. Richie says Trevor or Christian Kirk. Who's Trevor? Are we talking about Trevor Lawrence? Oh, it wasn't or, it was and. Trevor and Kirk already in the lineup. My apologies, Richie. I read that wrong. Tight end is Evan Ingram or Okonkwo. Too many eggs in the basket. In that case, considering Waller's coming off of his injured reserve and Ingram's coming off his best performances of his career, I probably just roll with Ingram there and just hope for it. You see Michael Pittman Jr. down, what is it, like 15 yards down the field, makes a play. Exactly where he's supposed to be utilized. Down the field, especially when you're playing up against Minnesota. Minnesota is the worst team in terms of giving up points to opposing wide receivers on the outside, 10 or more yards down the field. And for some reason, they wanted to throw the ball 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage for the majority of the day. Interesting stuff here, huh? Am I playing Komet? Yeah, Evan, you're playing Komet. Don't worry about Waller right now. Would you pick up the Titans defense for next week against Houston? Absolutely, Isaac. That should have been done 2 weeks ago. But yes, I would suggest you doing that now. Pick one, says Mike Ward. Pick one. White, Foreman, Cook, Akers. White, Foreman, Cook, Akers. Foreman half PPR, White full PPR. Sorry. Yeah. Foreman half PPR, White full PPR. Come on, Matt Ryan. Oh, Matt Ryan fumbles, or is that going to be a pass attempt? I don't know. You know what's funny? Alec Pierce should have had a really good game today. He really should have. I mean, Matt Ryan is just an absolute train wreck of a quarterback, but hey, It is what it is. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they're going to draft a good quarterback, in 2023, and this organization can get a little bit of a reset here, right? Man, I'm scared when I saw JJ go down early in this game. Yeah, that's definitely scary. Definitely scary. As I'm in the theater, literally watching Avatar in my pocket, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Alert! Jonathan Taylor injured in the medical team. Alert! Justin Jefferson injured in the medical. I'm like, oh no, what is happening? Why today of all days? Why is this happening to us? Boxer Card Production sends in a super chat. Box, what's up, man? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Waller over Titans tight end. No, I would play Chigozimo Okonkwo over Waller this week. Thank you. Waller is right behind him in my rankings right now. Choke artist Matt Ryan. You're not wrong, Zarif. You're not wrong. It is just classic, man. It is classic. Ridiculous. Is Strong or Kevin Harris worth playing over Zay Jones, Chark, or Palmer? Yeah, actually, showstopper. I think Kevin Harris could be more valuable this week. Okay, under the assumption, let's put this first and foremost. Under the assumption that Ramondre Stevenson is inactive and it's going to be Pierre Strong and Kevin Harris in the backfield, I would rather play Kevin Harris probably over Chark. I do not like the idea of playing Chark against Sauce Gardner. So I would play Harris, I'd play Jones, and I'd play Palmer there as the trifecta, as the Triforce. Derek Gumbawale or Rex Burkhead? Daniel, I'd go with Rex Burkhead this week. Jason says, JJ is a beast. I hope he and Chase bring me a championship. Hey, you got both of them on your team, Jason? Well, I think you're probably in a really good spot to capture said championship with that being your wide receiver core. He's better than Ellinger. I mean, look, Ellinger is a different type of quarterback though, right? Ellinger came into the league out of Texas as a mobile running quarterback. The issue is, again, the coaching did not set up Ellinger for success to allow him. Oh, wow. There you go. Michael Pittman making some plays. Thank goodness. Throw to nobody else, but I guess throw to Michael Pittman. If the coaching staff had kind of created an offense that incorporated more, zone read, more of that running quarterback offensive that we've seen so many teams utilize this season already and over the last 5 years, then maybe, Ellinger could be better in terms of fantasy purposes. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. Ellinger doesn't deserve to start on his team. But again, this Colts offense is a mess, mainly because of play calling. Trying to decide between Christian Watson and Garrett Wilson today. Kev, for sure it's Christian Watson. I primarily say that because with Garrett Wilson having to go back to Zach Wilson and Christian Watson being on a 4-game streak of 19 plus fantasy points and a half PPR game in 4 consecutive games, 2 touchdowns per game average since the start of that Dallas contest. I mean, like, it's tough not to start Christian Watson. That's why I have him so highly ranked. We're going to keep rolling the hot hand pretty much. We're at the poker table. It just hit big. We're doubling down and we're just going to continue to double down until, we feel like we want to take our foot off the gas and cash out. And I don't think this is a week to cash out. Hey, Andrew, earlier you said that you prefer Strong over Harris if Stevenson is out. Yeah, Harris is not playing either on Vesh. Wondering if I heard that right. Yes. So here's the thing. Okay. So Strong and Stevenson and are you talking about Damian Harris or are we talking about Kevin? Either way, Strong is the guy. If Ramondre is out, it's Pierre Strong. Let's just put it that way. Let's not confuse ourselves. Andrew, you said that Andrew said he was on McLaughlin too. Just go with your gut. Yeah, listen, 100% E. You're 100% correct. I should have picked up McLaughlin. I had him ranked this morning on Patreon as kicker 9. I should have picked him up and played him just about everywhere. You know what I mean? Tough. Another Pittman screen. They can't stop. That's all they have in their playbook, man. I don't blame them. That's really all that they have. But it is what it is. Lions, Jets, or Cowboys defense. This week I have it ranked Cowboys 1, Jets 2, Lions 3 in that order. Donald, thank you. Rashad Lee, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Christian Watson or Waddle? 100% play Christian Watson. Again, he's been far too consistent as of late in comparison to Waddle, who's gone in the complete opposite direction. We're playing Christian Watson there. Thank you. Alrighty. Again, for those of you who are joining us or still with us here today, thank you. I do appreciate you guys hanging out, asking questions, keeping this entertaining for myself as well. Besides the game, obviously keeping us entertained, as crazy it has been. Hopefully, Matt Ryan dials up an interception there. Nope. Okay, so we're 4th and 9. If I'm the Indianapolis Colts, how long of a kick would this be? I'm sending McLaughlin out there. No, how far of a kick is this? What is the line of scrimmage that they're on? Schultz or Goddard? Goddard's not playing today. It was announced about 30 minutes ago, and I think. Yeah, I think Isaac in the chat was mentioning that earlier. I think it was Isaac, maybe somebody else. That the Goddard is not out, and that's official. So Schultz is the play. Anthony 650 says Mostert, Singletary, Cordero Patterson, Pickens. Mostert, Singletary, Cordero Patterson, Pickens. Of the group, depends on scoring format. In a half PPR, just to give you guys a little bit of context, half PPR, I have Mostert ranked the highest. Full PPR, I have Cordero Patterson ranked the highest out of that group of players. So that would be the position that I'm in. I'm watching the game. I'm watching you and the game. I appreciate that, Donald. Appreciate it. All right. So let's see here. Is Greg Joseph getting himself ready to bomb a field goal here? Did they really punt the ball? And it led to okay, that was a decent catch. Okay, not bad. Interesting stuff here, huh? So we took care of Kev there. We took care of Ando. We took care of that on Vesh. We took care of. Yep. Okay, Donna. Yep. Richie, we took care of. Awesome. Perfect. Ando comes back, says, in a standard scoring format, Zeke, Schultz, and Lamb, yes or no? Too many? No, I don't think it's too many Cowboys players. Again, it's only too many eggs in a basket because, and the reason why I was saying that with Waller is because he's just coming off IR. If Waller had been active the whole season and been consistent, I would have no problem starting him. I'm worried about D-Hop this week. Christian Watson must be better because he's on a roll. I like him over D-Hop. I mean, look, at this point, the issue with DeAndre Hopkins and the reason why I have DeAndre Hopkins lower ranked than Christian Watson right now is because of the quarterback switch. If it was Kyler Murray, I would 100% be playing D-Hop this weekend, but it's not. So Christian Watson is my suggestion there, Jason. Broncos defense or Patriots? I have Patriots ranked higher this week. I have Patriots number 1. Let me see here. Patriots, in terms of top 12, Patriots were number 5 and Broncos were number 7. So they're both good defenses, but I do prefer the Patriots. Might be a tie. You're not wrong. Again, it's crazy, but it might be. Robert says full PPR, Waddle, ETN, Rashad White, Swift. I'll take ETN there if I'm playing one of them. Hey, Andrew, I'm sure you already answered this, but how you feeling about Diggs and Allen? I have both of them. I'm worried. John, my primary suggestion to people has been because, okay, so we're going to probably end the stream here in like 15 minutes or so. In about 4 hours from then, the game will begin, right? Actually, no, in about 3 hours from then, the game will begin. And once the game begins, at that point, it'll be a tough scenario in my mind to look at someone like Josh Allen and sit them unless the weather is horrendous. You'll know before the game starts. You can literally go to Twitter, literally type in Dolphins at Bills. That's all you have to type in Twitter. Go to the trending tab, go to there. You can find people posting pictures and or video from the sideline, from the stands. You get an idea as to how the weather looks. If it is really bad, you sit them. Otherwise, I'm playing my studs. Need a double reverse to Justin Jefferson in the house. I would like a double reverse pass from Justin Jefferson to KJ Osborne. Thoughts? Anybody? I like Justin Jefferson for a pass here. I've seen him sling the rock. He's pretty good. Can you please mention defensive rankings for this week? Yeah, Anvesh. I think I mentioned a couple times already, but we'll just go over it really quickly once again. The things I do for you guys. Truly. And now they're in field goal range. Spike the ball. Go. Okay, get off him, dude. Jiminy Christmas. That's got to be a penalty, right? Yeah, it is a penalty. Thank you. I mean, the fact that he was literally tackling the player after the play was done. I mean, dude, absurdity. That's an even closer field goal. The game's done. GG. Congratulations to the Minnesota Vikings. Well-deserved victory, truly. Defenses, Chiefs, Eagles, Bills. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6 is Cowboys, Patriots, Steelers. 7, 8, 9 is Broncos, Packers, Jets. 10, 11, 12 is Cardinals, Panthers, Ravens. Thank you. Well-deserved victory. Absolutely well-deserved. I knew it, man. I said it as soon as I saw that halftime score. If anyone can throw this lead, it's Matt Ryan. And my goodness, is he going to be immortalized in NFL history for being a guy who threw two of the most winnable games of all time. Truly. Truly. My goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a disaster, huh? ER says PPR. 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. All right, awesome. Let's sound this off. ETN, Rashad White. I would probably, I don't love playing both the Jaguars, but I think that they're both the best plays out of the group in my mind. Hey, Andrew. Okay, we already took care of that. Diego says ETN or Pacheco or Strong. I'll take Pacheco out of the group. Whenever I don't start Cooper, he goes good. He does good, excuse me. Snooki, did you start him today? I need to know. For my fantasy purposes, I need to know if I'm going to get a good Amari Cooper today or not. Snooki, did you start him? Did you do everyone a favor? If you did everyone a favor, we greatly appreciate your sacrifice today. Swift or Palmer in a full PPR? Ooh, I think Palmer's... I'll probably play Swift there. I'll probably play Swift. A little bit more upside, a little bit. Fields or Herbert and Burrow. Fields over Herbert and Burrow. Yes, I would play Fields over Herbert and Burrow. If it's a 6-point per passing touchdown league, I'd play Herbert. We took care of this one, right? Waddle, Pickens, Dillon. Okay, this is a different question. Okay, thank you, Rashad. Thank you, appreciate it. Waddle, Pickens, Dillon in another flex. Again, assuming the weather is bad, you would pivot to Pickens. Otherwise, you play Waddle if the weather is manageable. Also, Diggs or Chris Moore. Yeah, did he make the field goal? Congratulations. Big victory in overtime. 39 unbelievable points. I mean, I love to see it, man. I love that. I mean, I love it, dude. Oh, goodness. It is what it is. If I'm a Colts fan, I'm honestly not bothered by it because it just gets you that much closer to getting your new franchise quarterback of the future. You know what I mean? So yeah, at this point, if the weather is really bad, I could see myself pivoting off these two. But if it really isn't, I'll play them. But again, if you're going to pivot, yeah, Pickens and Moore are decent options. Hill in the snow or Garrett Wilson, full PPR. Yeah, again, if we're talking about 2 feet of snow, it's impossible to run routes, you play Garrett Wilson there. Similar in the same context of this. If it's impossible to run routes, you pivot to Pickens, you pivot to Chris Moore. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Appreciate it. No problem. Glad I can help. Jan, what's up? Says Fields or Herbert. Again, Fields in a 4-point per passing touchdown league. Herbert in a 6-point per passing touchdown league are my suggestions. Sit Tyler Bass because of the storm. Yes, I would sit Tyler Bass. Yeah, I would sit Tyler Bass. Oh, the other game started already, huh? What's the score here? I didn't even know the other game started until just right now. Oh, it's literally the second quarter. Yo, nobody has scored a point? Goodness gracious. I had already heard a couple things earlier in the week in terms of both these teams. I think being like unders. I think the last 4 games, right? The Ravens, or last 5 games, they've hit their under every single time, and the Cleveland Browns, in terms of like projected score, have always placed under that. So it's going to be a lower scoring game. I project probably by the end of the game, it's like a 17-14 kind of win, depending on whose kicker has the ball late. But yeah, at this point, we're fine. BN says, if this game could end, if this game, yeah, I'll see. Yeah, you're not wrong. That would be great. Yeah, for those of you who are playing against Kirk Cousins and or Thielen, KJ Osborne, Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, you wanted that thing to end as quickly as it could have. Should I start Hawkinson or Kelsey at tight end? Hawkinson already played. He just played just right now. So if you're just joining us, the Viking game just ended. So you would play Kelsey, right? Because Kelsey, like I talked about on Thursday, is not only the best tight end in football, but also when you draft Kelsey or you have Kelsey on roster, you are signing away your rights of starting any other tight end throughout the given year. So you have to start Kelsey even on his bye weeks and even when he's hurt. It's a joke, but you know what I mean. You have to start always Kelsey. I think this is more of a joke, though. Should I play Ramondre Stevenson or Mike Williams? Even if Ramondre's healthy, I'd play Mike Williams this week. Tua or Danny Dimes, I'll take Danny Dimes. Bills or Saints defense, give me the Bills. ETN, Robinson in the standard scoring format, I'll take ETN this week. Thank you. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all again. We're going to probably be closing out today's stream in about, I'd say 7 to 8 minutes. Do appreciate it. Tomorrow, we'll be back again. Do not forget, we'll be back from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll have rankings available on screen for you guys so that we have everything up to date, ready to go for everything in tomorrow's games. Again, like I mentioned, we want to play our studs tonight in the Miami versus Buffalo game. It is purely going to be determined as to whether or not that weather is going to be an impeding factor on the success of our players. And if by the time we get to visually seeing that game be at a really bad position, I'll probably end up looking at it and saying, yeah, I'm probably going to pivot my players away from starting them. But it's going to be fully on whether I can see that snow piling up and how bad it ends up being. If it's pretty bad, then yeah, let's probably not force ourselves into bad scenarios in the given week. Otherwise, we're just going to answer a bunch of consecutive questions before the end of today's stream. And again, once again, I do appreciate y'all who have clicked the like button, showed up, asked questions, continue to contribute to the community. For those of you who sent in super chats, it's very generous of you. Again, you guys aren't obligated to do so, yet you continue to come out here and send questions in my direction. I cannot thank you guys enough, and I do really appreciate you guys. Outside of that, again, tomorrow morning. Also, if you guys haven't checked out PrizePicks right here, I got to show you guys a PrizePick entry I put in last night before I close out, because I think it was last night. Yeah, it was last night. Damian Lillard killed Andrew. And when I say Damian Lillard killed Andrew, I'm not exaggerating, okay? It's not hyperbole. It's nothing of that extent. It is just straight murder. That was the scenario. Let me see here. So if I can go ahead and show this on screen, maybe make this a smaller box just so it's not as imposing, and then go ahead and go to my entries. So this is today's entry. Let's scroll down a little bit here. Okay, this was yesterday's entries, just so we're all on the same page, by the way. Actually, let me go ahead. Let me minimize. Let me do some little magic here. Okay, so as of yesterday's entries that we put in, by the way, this is an Omega NBA play. By the way, speaking of Omega NBA plays, Andrew last night, okay, this one was close, right? You know, DeMar DeRozan didn't want to show up, but look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this. $5 to win 150. To win 150. And Damian Lillard, you know what happens? They get blown out. He gets pulled out of the game in the fourth. I was in shambles. I couldn't believe it. Hey, but either way, because it's a flex play, I got 3x my money back in terms of the over. I mean, it was only a $5 bet, so it was quick, easy, bada boom. Not bad. Overall, not bad. But it was rough. It was rough. I mean, as of late, man, I've been hitting on some of these NFL ones. Just fingers crossed we continue that streak. As of what the heck I got tomorrow. Oh, wait, where did it go? Why did I do that? There it is. As of what the heck I got tomorrow, which is Chase McLaughlin already going, so that doesn't really count. But, you know, something like this, or hopefully touchdown, over 300 yards, over 60 receiving yards, bada boom, 4-piece for 100. I mean, sheesh, we're looking for it. Okay, anyway. Again, there's a link in the description. If you guys are interested, check out PrizePicks. Use promo code Andrew when you make that first-time deposit today and sign up, because your first-time deposit is immediately double. Thank you. Okay. Answering questions. Again, I will extend the timer as to how long I am here for, because I did take a little bit of time to talk about my failures and shortcomings of Damian Lillard screwing the pooch in that kind of scenario. But either way, let's go ahead and let's answer some questions here, shall we? Andrew, thumbs up or down for Avatar? Thumbs up. Yeah, overall good experience. I mean, again, if you like the first one, you'll like this one. I think, 3 hours and 10 minutes is a long time for any movie. but I think they did a good job. Is it the best movie I've ever seen? Absolutely not, right? But you know, they've got a lot more coming down the pike. You know, there's gonna be what, like James Cameron said, like 6 of these movies. We'll see. But yeah, thumbs up. I think it was. I mean, if I had to give like a thumb, if it's just an objective yay or nay, then yeah, it's a yay. But it's more of like a 80%, maybe 75% kind of a movie. In terms of visuals, again, I even saw it in 3D. It was good. The visuals are the best part. Pending the weather, would you start Waddle or Chris Moore? I play Chris Moore even if the weather is good. Not even joking. Cole Kmet or Darren Waller? I play Cole Kmet. Jamal Foreman or Zonovan Knight? Out of the group, I'm probably playing Zonovan Knight. T. Higgins, question mark. He should be healthy and ready to go. No problems. Happy holiday, everyone, says Fresh Prince. Happy holidays to you as well. Hope you're doing well. I hope everything goes well for everybody. That's going to be Justice Hill on the little shovel pass for the first down. We love to see it. Do you play fantasy basketball by any chance? No, I don't play any fantasy basketball. The only fantasy related basketball is via PrizePicks. I'm just picking individual player statistics because I know fantasy basketball throughout an entire season is way too difficult to manage. It really is. Like having to change your lineup every single day. I don't want to keep up with that. I don't want to do that. Right? Like I already got my, too many leagues in fantasy football already going. So like I don't even deal with fantasy basketball throughout a regular season. I just use the PrizePicks kind of go pick more or less on a given player statistics, whether it's rebounds, points, rebounds, assists, turnovers, 3-pointers made, all that kind of jazz. And I just roll with it there. Waller or Freiermuth? I'll take Fryer. Talk to you tomorrow. No problem, Charlene. Thank you very much for showing up today and supporting the channel again. Brian Robinson or Zay Jones? I'll take Zay Jones in a full. I'll take Brian Robinson in a half and a standard. PPR, Pacheco, Murray, White, Strong, Moore. Pacheco is number 1. Strong number 2, assuming Ramondre's out. Chris Moore number 3. If in fact Ramondre's active tomorrow, I would then play Latavius Murray. Thank you. With Pacheco and Moore. Lucius says, start, sit, Waller, Kmet. Yeah, it's Kmet for sure. Again, I'll just go ahead and give you guys an idea because it's going to be on screen tomorrow anyway. My top 9 tight ends as of this moment. Kelsey 1, Mark Andrews 2, Schultz 3. Njoku's already started playing, but he's gone now. Freiermuth would be then 4. Cole Kmet would be 4. Freiermuth 5, Evan Ingram 6, Chigoziem Okonkwo 7, and Darren Waller 8. So again, Kmet is up there. He's certainly going to be in every single starting lineup that I have that doesn't consist of a Kelsey, Waller, Schultz, etc. Thank you. Do I play Zonovan Knight or Leonard Fournette and a half EPR? I play Zonovan Knight. Thank you. All right, guys. That is going to cover for me today. I do appreciate y'all. Again, tomorrow morning, I'll be back here from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with rankings, all that kind of jazz, ready to go. And a little bit more confidence on the matter in terms of some of these plays because, again, we're not 100% certain on a Ramondre Stevenson and all that kind of jazz and figuring out what is going on with some of those injuries in terms of secondary members on some of these teams. We'll have that all ironed out and in a pretty good spot. Thank you, everybody, again. Tomorrow, 8 a.m., 10 a.m. I'll see you then. Until next time, enjoy the music. Peace. Goodbye.